Thank you. So, moving forward here, I'd like to introduce our guest dragon today. A local dragon that's going to be joining us is Danny Robinson. And Danny has been an early-stage technology entrepreneur for over 15 years. Presently, he's the co-founder and CEO of Perch.co, a video communication product that enables you to connect and share all of life's moments as they happen with the people who matter the most. Prior to co-founding Perch, Danny was the CEO of BCIC, which is a BC-based Crown corporation dedicated to promoting entrepreneurship and innovation in the province of British Columbia here. Previously, he was the co-founder of Boot Up Labs, the first seed accelerator in Vancouver, which invested in 8 companies, including Sumify, which was acquired by Twitter. In addition to that, he also co-founded Boot Up Entrepreneurial Society, a community and mentor-driven nonprofit organization that promoted BC's internet technology sector. That's a mouthful. Helped launch over 95 companies and organize 100 startup events, including the popular Launch Party series, at Launch at Grow opening reception as well. Now, prior to Boot Up, Danny also co-founded Strata. So anybody here go to the video contest site to see where the potential pitchers actually uploaded their videos? Right, so a few of us have seen that. And this is, the whole platform is driven by Strata's contesting platform for video. So that's who supplied that actually as a sponsor. So Strata enables a social marketing promotions platform, enables brands like Crate & Barrel, Johnson & Johnson's, and Men's Health to identify, listen, and engage with the most influential customers in a contesting format. So without further ado, I'd like to invite up Danny with a round of applause. Have a seat here besides Jim. And Bruce, just got to move over there a bit. So I'd like to introduce now someone who really was a big part of making all this happen, and that's Molly Dignan. And Molly is the producer for CBC's Dragon's Den.
Molly.
So, after 6 seasons and thousands of pitches on CBC's Dragon's Den, Molly has seen it all when it comes to entrepreneurship in this country, and probably edited like 1,000 hours per week of footage, I'm sure. As a producer, Molly works behind the scenes to help hopeful entrepreneurs take their pitch from the boardroom to your living room. She has auditioned and helped select each season's crop of cash-hungry Canadians and is always on the hunt for great businesses to showcase on the hit reality show that has become part of water cooler conversations each week. The CBC hit show garners an average audience of 1.3 million Canadians each week. In addition to this, its success on air, Dragon's Den is also a hit online, boasting an active and engaged online community averaging of over 650,000 page views per month. Please welcome Molly Dignan.
She's really a neat lady. She's getting married here in, what, a month? And her...
Yeah, that's still on, Mom?
Yeah. They met through Lava Life, I think. And
yeah. Another successful union.
We're still supplying pizza down for their wedding, and actually...
Where are you getting married?
New husband's going to be... he's
Ed's
one of
here.
our cameramen.
Ed,
where are you?
Where is he?
So I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the first ever Dragon's Den Social Summit, as we're calling it. Thanks to
Work a bit better.
I've never been known to need a mic at all, actually, because I'm loud. But, thanks to CBC for having us. Thanks to Shane and all the organizers of Vancouver Social Media Week, as this is a really cool opportunity, both for you guys to get an up-close and personal look at the dragons, and also for us to get out here. We're just launching our 7th season. I hope you've seen the last 2 episodes. And, it's going to be bigger and better than ever, and it's just really fun to get out here. So... also thanks to the busiest people I know, the dragons and our guest dragons. Sorry. You may have come here because you have a crush on Bruce, or you may have come to get your book signed by Jim, or you may have come for some free pizza, like I did as well. But the one thing that has drawn us all together, I think, today is Dragon's Den. My job is to help promote how wonderful our show is for everyone. So Shane touched on it, but the show has become a weird phenomenon of I'm proud to say that we are a staple in Canadians' households. 1 in 3 Canadians have watched or actively watched Dragon's Den. And that's sort of something that I don't think anyone in any Canadian entertainment program ever thought would happen. And, I don't know of any other place that Canadians can showcase or platform their inventions and businesses. I mean, it's really cool to say that a person in Yellowknife can find a customer in St. John's, Newfoundland, and there's no way to pay for that kind of advertising. The dragons are definitely, obviously, a huge part of our show. It's what makes it so entertaining, and the deal making is so huge. But I just want to give a shout out to the entrepreneurs and the brave souls that come here today, because it's really cool. Every week, I think people tune in not only to hear what will come out of Kevin's mouth, but also to see what this country has to offer. And firsthand, I've been on the road every year looking for all you people. And every year, I honestly think, I don't know, I think we've tapped the country. Could there possibly be any more board games out there? Could there possibly be any more toilet innovations? And yet, year after year, there is, as in, stay tuned for episode 4, a portable bidet. So the pitch contest today, thank you for coming and showing the support to, again, these brave souls, as I say. But today's contest has no promised investment. There's no cash prize. There's no plane tickets to anywhere. But the prize is simply an invitation from us and the Dragons to potentially come on the show for season 8, if we're so lucky to have one. And that may not sound so motivating. Hey, here's a golden ticket and that's it. But I'm here to tell you why it is motivating. We're calling it the Dragon's Den effect. And what that means is deal or no deal, often to the Dragon's own demise or surprise that a business doesn't want to go through with the deal. But businesses who appear on our show often experience a dramatic spike in sales, web traffic, franchise inquiries, distribution offers, retail opportunities, sponsorship deals, all kinds of things come from just being on television. And all of this is a growth opportunity. I mean, there's so many entrepreneurs in the audience. I could never discourage you from auditioning for our show, because firsthand, myself and Amy, the producer, Tracy, our boss, is here. It's amazing and heartwarming to see what can happen to businesses after they come on the show. Many of the products, like some of the consumer products, less digital and techy, but they end up on the shopping channel, sometimes with the Dragon helping flock their gear. And in most recent news, something pretty cool that I think is 2 Dragon's Den businesses have been selected by the Canadian Space Agency to be among 12 Canadian innovative food products that are going to space. That's weird and good, yes. But I repeat, they are going to space. So this little business, it looks like a bunch of bird seed from Seashell, BC, holy crap. And then a little liquid dehydrated honey product from PEI will be going to the International Space Station. And, I don't know if anyone wakes up in Seashell and thinks they're going to space who happens to be an entrepreneur, right? So it's pretty interesting. And, the success of the show does also rely on our audience. To tie this into social media week, the word social wasn't even on the radar when we started this show. I don't think anyone ever predicted that our show would have the, highest video streaming membership on all of CBC. I don't think people knew that we'd have 82,000 fans on Facebook, and we have some very active Twitter followers. It's pretty cool. I have to say, every Wednesday night I can't even sit down. I'm standing in my kitchen tweeting and my thumbs get sore because it's really fun to be able to engage with people making comments, negative or positive, about the show. So, we've had a big impact on the Canadian entrepreneurial landscape, and we're really proud of that. And I think it's, I know for a fact that a lot of the Dragons, they could be doing other things for 20 days, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in April and May. But instead, you know, I do believe deep down, even Kevin, there's something in them that is here to help encourage entrepreneurship in our country and support entrepreneurs as they start their journey.
Hope your wedding speech is going to be a little shorter than this
It will be, I
one.
promise. Yeah. So here are the rules, okay? Today, this is our den. And, you know, the dragons don't actually know anything about the pitches that they're going to see today. So what we're going to do is each pitch will have a few minutes. They will make their presentation. The dragons will grill them. I encourage you to be ruthless. But they will not say if they're in or out right away. Then the dragons will, you know, retire to the secret room right here, deliberate, and then we will announce a winner. And after that, you get to meet the dragons, have some pizza, and get a book signed. So, without further ado,
I know.
Don't talk about it. Okay, first up. A pair of Vancouver entrepreneurs who say they've created a perfect solution to support small businesses.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Ski, and this is my co-founder, Chris Mack. We're here today representing our company, Spokal, and we're looking for $50,000 for 5% of our company. But we're going to get back to that. First, because we're in such a small space here, I want to share a little story with you. So I've been in business for myself since I was 14, and I love being in business for myself because unlike my friends who are doing real jobs, I get to set my own hours, which means instead of working 9 to 5 with paid vacation, I get to, you know, burn the midnight oil. I get to send emails from the holiday dinner table. I think weekend is a word I'm going to invent in a few years from now. Instead of having a boss tell me what to do, we get to figure it out on our own, which is great because we never make mistakes. And, you know, I hear people talking all the time about gossiping at the water cooler, and we can't even afford one, right? But I think for me, the biggest thing that I love about being in business for myself is that I get to be an expert everything. Accounting, I took it in university, done. Marketing, can't be that hard. Law, my sister's in second year, we're covered. And sales, people love us. All I have to do is open my doors and business will be booming. I think we've all been there. For everyone in the audience today who's run a business themselves, you know the romance of doing it on your own, it fades fast because we are competing against experts every step along the way. Honestly, guys, even the organizations have experts for their experts. And we're here to level the playing field. And this is why we built Spokal. Spokal automates the process of attracting new customers. We basically amplify your message so you no longer now need a marketing expert to succeed. It is Social Media Week, so it's sort of like having an amazing social media consultant right by your side 24 hours a day. You know, because small businesses, we're amazing. We do a lot, but we can't do it on our own. So Spokal takes this complex and confusing new world, and we help you navigate it. Question. So basically, what exactly do we do? It's pretty simple. In 2 to 5 hours a week, non-technical, small business owners can create and grow their online presence, including a blog, all the hot social media platforms, and the email campaigns, but they do it all from one place. Spokal actually guides them every step along the way and helps them educate and take potential leads and turn them into customers. So we can kind of put this into a real-life example. So Bruce, you're on. I understand last year you invested in a French coffee shop called, I think it's Balzac's Coffee Roasters?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So when you and Diana decide to open up a coffee store in Vancouver, you're going to use Spokal. Spokal will help Diana, well, we'll give her a blog and the tools to help her grow her brand online and actually get customers here before you ever step foot here. The coolest thing about it is that it's straightforward, so baristas can use it on their downtime, but more importantly, Bruce, all your analytics are in one place, so you can make better decisions faster to scale the company.
So let me understand, because we have a website, which is beautiful, I think.
It is beautiful.
You like it?
We
See
checked
it?
out,
You
yeah.
did your homework? And we're getting more and more active in the Twitter sphere, right? So we got somebody that does that, and she's on the payroll. So when she's not drawing coffee, she's tweeting, right? So there's no extra charge for that. Our books are ready. We're accounting. So tell us, you know, for a startup business, someone that's not in business, I was with you, right? You were saying I could see it replace. You could set up a website cheaply. You stream your Twitter through the website, you know, all the basics. But for somebody that has 7 locations growing to 10, spin it out a little bit. You brought up Balzac's as an example, so let's use it.
And Balzac might be than the typical guys we're talking about.
Right.
But as an example, because our platform is so easy to use, that you wouldn't need necessarily an SEO kind of consultant to come in and explain to your baristas or to Diana do that.
How to do local SEO, like if I was trying to build the local Vancouver SEO.
Exactly.
Because we already do SEO, let's assume, right?
Right. Yes.
We already do it for
First,
Toronto.
what's
So where
SEO?
we position ourselves,
Search engine optimization for the websites, right?
so where we're positioning ourselves is for the people. I mean, it's a tough kind of environment. It's a bit of a, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have access to resources like yourself, Bruce, then it's a tough world to navigate.
Okay.
Right. So what we want to do
I
is,
agree with you.
instead of having to rely on finding a consultant who may or may not actually know what they're talking about, that you can actually hop on this platform in 2 to 5 hours a week. We give you all the tools that you need to be able to do this effectively, but more importantly is we educate you along the way. So much like Dragon's Den entertains while
But you
it
don't need,
educates.
doesn't involve having to get on the phone with you or live back and forth. It's all automated.
It's all automated.
Okay.
We will
What kind
offer
of cost
consulting
are you looking at to do this? You know, we've got all that in place right now, so why do I want to hire you?
Right. If you have it in place, again, that's not who we're focusing on initially. We're focusing on the
looking at
guys who are
small
startups to
guys.
do this.
Startups.
Small business owners. Startups. Actually, startups is right. A lot of startups in our space have actually wanted to use our platform. But we're focusing on the guys where it's like the overwhelm, right? When you know you need to go online, you know you need to do that, you don't know how.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the problem we're solving.
Okay,
I don't
go
get
back
it.
to one thing. What's
Yep.
the cost? You haven't told me the cost. You told me all
$50
the
a
stuff
month.
you're going to do.
Say again?
$50 a month and 2 to 5 hours a week of your time,
$50 a month? Okay.
starting from.
I don't get it. I don't get what the product is.
Okay, so what we do is we provide, I mean, the product is a promise. The promise is, you know you need to go online to get new clients, and if you sign up for $50 a month, we're going to show you, we're going to give you the tools to do it, and we're going to show you how to do it.
Yeah, but so does everybody else. Says that's the promise that everybody makes. So like, what specifically?
Okay,
do you
so
do?
are you familiar with HubSpot?
With who?
HubSpot.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We are basically HubSpot for the little guy. What we do is we provide a marketing automation package.
I get that, but I don't know if anybody else in the room gets
Cool.
it.
So what we do is we give you a blog. We tie it in with all your social media accounts, and then we give you the tools to be able to figure out exactly what you need to be talking about in order to rank most effectively for your target market, so you bring more people to your website. When you've got those people on your website, most people make the mistake of trying to sell them straight away. So you've got these guys coming to your website, you're a stranger to them, they don't know you, and you've got great big buy now buttons on there. And 97% or more of people walk away because you actually need to touch them a few more times. They need to know who you are and trust you to a certain extent. So what we do is we give you the ability to be able to offer them value for free in exchange for their email address or their Twitter name.
Like
And
what?
then
Like, can you give an example of value?
the value would be, you know, a downloaded ebook.
Give it to Andrea. She wants to talk. You can,
Sure.
Give me the mic.
Sorry, Chris. So, for example, our very first customer on board is a magician. And so he's doing something very non-traditional. When you actually send an email, he's going to send you magic dust and those little fish that tell you what your future will be. Something a little more traditional online is going to be something like an ebook. One of the guys we're working with, they're doing social gaming, like social casinos, so it may be, you know, the top 10 trends you didn't know. Basically,
So can Jim use this to promote his ebook? Or his book, I mean?
yeah, it could be, you know, top 5 secrets I didn't share in my book or whatever. And the idea is that, you know, I may not buy your book today, Jim, but...
Yes, you got to buy the book.
Are you
Whoa,
signed
that's
for it?
not-
I don't get you money because I can't pay you the $50 if you don't
I
get the
bought
book.
10 already, so we're good.
And she tweeted at me already, so
yeah.
she's already brown nosing.
Anyways, and so so the idea is that, you know, now we're starting the relationship, right? And then over time, you're going to send me a few emails, I'm going to get comfortable with you, whatever, and then all of a sudden, I'm going to need some information. Maybe I need something, you know, business information, and now I'm going to come to you. Now, it's slightly different for you because you're on Dragon's Den, so, you know, everyone in the audience actually already has enough touch points with you that you've already built trust. Someone like myself, I would say, I'd be a perfect example.
But you're not gonna give them the 5 things from the book.
No.
You're gonna tell them, hey, Jim, if you really want people to buy your book, we suggest you give 5 things from the book, right? That's an automated message going to come to Jim when he...
It's whatever you think your audience would find
Right.
value in.
Or
Yeah,
even-
totally.
okay, right.
Totally, yeah.
So you have customers now?
We do. So we actually launched our private closed beta. We brought our first 18 companies on board. These are friends and family companies, and they've been on the system since September 12th. We worked through bugs. Chris and our team, basically, you guys fixed a lot of things. And we had a waiting list for our paid beta, which starts next week. We're going to roll it out to another 30 companies, and then we've got a waiting list for the next beta. So we'll roll that out. So we're going to roll out a few more.
Who's your competition?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to give this to Chris so we can share our microphone. Go ahead.
So, I mean, basically, HubSpot's the biggest brand awareness. I would never call them a competitor. They've done exceptionally well. Their platform is amazing. In 5 years, they've grown to $52 million in sales, and they've helped countless businesses actually grow their businesses, sometimes double and triple in size. But they're focused on medium-size, small business, 20, 30 employees or more, and they're starting to move into the small enterprise space. And as a result, their feature set's becoming more complex and certainly more expensive. So it's kind of leaving the little guy high and dry.
When you got the money you're getting in, and you told me all the companies you've got now, plus.
Yep.
When do you get to a break even so that you can make, more employees? There's just the 2 of you right now?
No, we actually we've been a little bit on fire for the last couple of months. We won our demo day from our accelerator. We ended up getting a $50,000 IRAP grant. We've hired our first 2 employees. We've, and then we've got our first customers on board, our first paying customer lined up, who actually tried to give us a check because we didn't have a payment processor in place yet. So everything's kind of been going exceptionally well for us.
So what do you use in the $50,000 that I'm going to give you?
Awesome. UX person, user experience, that's where we're falling short. Our product is amazing. Everything about it is awesome. We really need some help with the user experience.
2 minutes left.
Designers.
More the flow through the system and designer user experience, but it's about making the experience more. We've made it very simple, but I think it could be more pleasant.
That was $50,000 for how much?
5%.
So yeah, it's $1 million valuation, right? So that's an interesting number for the stage you're at.
Right.
Wow.
So you're very confident.
Yes.
How do you?
Well, you're going to need more money.
How'd you come up with $1 million?
It's a tough one, right? Like you were just talking about before, and I love to talk about valuation. It's an art. I mean, we've been playing with this. We've talked to a number of.
You've been doing a lot of playing.
It's all fun. It's all fun.
You know what? Here's the deal. It's like any high potential kind of like tech scene. The risk reward here is potentially used. The upside is potentially used. We're not a shop that's going to make a little bit of money if we're successful. We are going to blow up if we are successful. Like
I heard that about another company called Facebook.
Sorry.
I heard about a Facebook, and
they're
it
pretty
was
cool.
supposed to go through to $45,
They're
and
not
everybody's
gonna do
buying. Where's it today?
But
I'm worried about
tell you-
that kind of thing.
But
I
tell you
know what you're
Jim,
saying.
the guys who got in for 50 grand at 5%, they're laughing.
Yeah, but they're gone already.
Yeah, with tons of
Yeah,
money.
they left.
Any last questions, Dragons? Danny? Bruce?
Well, I mean, I see a lot of early stage tech, right? That's what I do. Generally, if you're coming up with $1 million valuation, you've got paid users and a channel to get a whole pile more and a proven acquisition cost, right? So I'll just assume for now that you have that, because it sounds like a lot of money for the stage you're at, but I'll just leave it at that, right?
The reason we came up with that is basically, we're self-funded, plus the IRAP grant. We don't actually desperately need that cash right now.
Yeah.
So I'd rather.
So you don't really want to do a deal.
What I really want to
we get a lot of that.
Actually, that's not true. I really do. What I want, though, more importantly than the money, is I want you. There you go.
I guess we're chopped liver or, whatever.
You were
what you and I are doing,
It's the first time for everything, Molly.
I don't know how to moderate this.
It's the first time ever Bruce has got something. This sounds like a holy crap. I had the deal, you got nothing.
Okay,
We're
guys.
talking about the alternate lifestyle.
That's
Yeah,
it
no,
for
I heard.
Spocal.
Oh.
I think
Not
this
there's
is a
anything
good
wrong
note
with that.
to end on. So thank you, Spocal. Thanks for everyone for Spocal. Up to our next one. You can take your seats. Okay, tough act to follow. Our next entrepreneur is a bus driver from New Westminster with a plan to make buses commercially viable. All he needs is a dragon to hop on for the ride. Patrick Brown.
Good afternoon, Dragons. Good afternoon, Vancouver. My name is Patrick Harris. I live in the city of New Westminster. I've been a bus driver for 28 years. I get to watch my people very closely and see what works and what doesn't work. What I'm proposing is taking technology, well, we'll start back. Crank phones, they were a great thing, but they didn't work really well. Crank phones are sort of like these things.
So we usually interrupt you and ask how much you're looking for what percentage of the company. Have you figured that out yet?
No.
You have an open book?
Yep,
Okay.
open book.
All right.
We'll get to that point in a few seconds.
Okay.
So this is what you see now. It's old. It's been around. It's as long as buses have. So there's that one.
Those are inside the buses.
Inside
up
the bus.
Yeah, okay.
Inside or outside, doesn't matter. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Looked at it once, never saw it again. So, and these, unfortunately, are all in English. 65% of the population in the Lower Mainland, English isn't their first language. So what we propose to do is we've got a hardware company and a software company. They're going to provide the infrastructure that I need to bring these messages in video form to the bus. In each hour, 20 minutes goes to the advertiser of record for each, let me back up one second. Each transit system has an advertiser of record. They're the company that owns all the advertising rights for the transit system. What we do is supply the infrastructure to those companies. They're great at advertising. Bus drivers or bus companies are great at bus company, but they're not set up in either company to do what I want to do to bring the message on board the bus. Because it's GPS, global positioning satellite, so we can tell you where the bus is at any one time. 2 blocks before, ding, Boston Pizza. If you're hungry, they've got a 5% special.
I like it already.
There you go. You're out late at night, I'm really bored, I've got to meet somebody. Oh, laugh a life, come on board. We can hook it up.
It's a beautiful thing. Pizza and a date.
Exactly. And a little beer from Strata, we're laughing. There you go. So what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for, because this is the whole company. Me, myself, and I is you guys, following them. I need my millionaires to talk to my billionaires, because I'm dealing with billion-dollar companies all across Canada, the United States. We can go down to Mexico, we can go down to Brazil. And the beauty of it being a good Canadian idea is it's transportable and it's replicable. We can go in every place and change it. Whatever language they're using, that will become the lingua franca of that particular site. So as I said, we get the advertiser. They get 20 minutes of the hour to put their ads in, just like a television station. But what we get to do is the other 40 minutes, we can break it into 10-minute or whatever segments you want to do public service announcements. You can bring on advertising.
Television.
Television. It's basic. This is television on wheels. All right. So when you get up in the morning and you've running like crazy with the bus and you went to the metro and you've dropped it and you got dirty hands, but I want to know what happened last night in the hockey game. What's the latest fashion trend? Why can I not get the information from the government in my language of choice? I don't speak English yet, but I'm coming to this country and I want to really bring my excitement and my vision to Canada. So I can put it in 6 different languages. If it's driving through the city of Vancouver, you're coming down through downtown, all of a sudden you're coming into where we have a heavier population of the Chinese language. We go from 80% English to 20%.
Question, so have you done anything other than conceive of this? Because I think I think you're bang on. It's coming, right? I mean, we would great to be able to get on a bus and watch TV instead of looking at a passive ad or not looking at a passive ad, as you've seen people not do.
Yes.
But have you done anything other than come up with the idea? Have you prototyped?
I've got a prototype. I've got a full business plan, and we've done 5 years, but we cut it down to 2. I've got all the numbers and everything that you guys will need to see. That's already done. But instead of stumbling all over figures that will send me 4 ways from Sunday, I'll talk about the concept, the people, and how we're going to make it work.
So I built a company that put digital displays in shopping malls.
Yep.
With a co-founder. He was the CEO. I was not the CEO at the time, but he and I worked on it, and we did pretty well. This was in 2002. Things have changed since then. It's got cheaper. Things are better. I understand the business. I understand how hard it is to get the customers. I wonder, have you done the math on the difference in cost and what you can make in addition on advertising versus these?
There's quite a bit. This is just the start. There's interactivity.
How much does it cost for the screens?
To outfit one bus is $1,300. That's 2 screens, all the hardware, all the software, everything in there.
That's dramatically lower than what we paid. But how do you connect it to the internet?
Yeah.
And it's connected all the time?
All the time. And we can kick in anytime we need to. The other part of it is because it's a public service.
Is it traveling, or is it you going from hotspot to hotspot, or is it just is it over the telco wires?
You can do both. This is the beauty of it. There's nothing you can't do. It's where you're only limited by your imagination. We can preload all the buses on some of the smaller routes where it's not highly as profitable. On the other routes, like say the ones that take all the kids out to UBC, we can target the audience of what they're going to see. Other companies have done it, but they're just doing strictly advertising. And advertising is great up to a point, but after a while it puts you to sleep. It's like looking at storefront windows as you drive by. So if you can engage the audience with the messages that you're putting out, you'll get their response, make it interactive. There's game nights, there's, like I say, anything you can think of we can do, because it's all there and it's very inexpensive. The other companies I've looked at charge considerably more money because they've got such huge overhead. We don't need it because I don't look after the parts that I can't control.
So the other challenge we had was getting enough impressions, ad impressions, in each vertical sort of segment that you're targeting.
Yeah.
So if you say every stop that has a Boston Pizza at it, you know, there's just not a lot there, right? There's not enough impressions.
This is where we give the advertiser a bigger slice of the pie. They get to go and hit every city, every part of the city. So it's not Boston Pizza, it's Shepherd's Drug Mart, it's Starbucks. Anybody and anywhere can buy into the system. We can target them in, and then later at night.
$1,300. You don't need a lot of.
No, I mean that's
right?
way cheaper than we paid. That's for sure.
How big are the screens you're using in the bus?
You can go anywhere from 15 to 17 inches. You can also go multiple, and this is just the Mark I. So what we're going to do...
Who's we, by the way?
Us.
Oh.
Yeah. See, us. Yeah, right? Yeah,
the royal we.
The royal we.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You can say no later. But right now, this is the way we're going. So we were talking about crank phones earlier, right? So you know what happened with the telephone and the rest of it. So we're going to change the bus. So we're like this thing here, smartphone. Blackberries are good. Apple, this is preference.
Wait till the new Blueberry comes out, or Blackberry comes out.
Blueberry.
The Blueberry, is it Blueberry or Blackberry?
Blue, black, it's all the same. It's all good.
No, it's going to be out in probably next year or the year after, the year after.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to change the bus. It's not going to be called a bus anymore. It's going to be called an I want one. Small, lowercase I, W-A-N-T, one. I want one. Why? As an advertiser, I want to be able to deliver my message to all these people. As a consumer, I want to be able to find out what happened in the news, whether it's sports. I want to find out how do I get help from the government, but I don't understand the English language.
We have a problem, though.
What's that?
I have a day job already. I can't go and help you do this. This guy for sure can't help you. How are we going to do? How are we going to do this?
We don't have to knock on the doors. They come to us.
I have a partner here, though.
I'm busy too. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, but this is up this is right up your old alley there.
I know, and I've been down that path, and
you didn't like it.
It was tough.
$1,300, so it's come
yeah,
down
I know,
a lot.
It's an order of magnitude less than what we paid. We paid about $14,000 for our units.
Per install.
Yeah, and it made money, but it was very, very hard on the sales side.
It's a grind, right?
It might be better now.
Your customers walk away. I've got mine captured for 25 minutes at a time, hour and a half on the longer runs.
If you can convince this guy, I'm in.
Who did you have to convince to put them in there? Who would you convince in this?
Well, we convince property managers.
Landlords, right?
And in this case, you'd have to convince the bus companies who are government-owned and slow-moving and long sales cycles.
You gentlemen may not be, but you will be very familiar with our current situation. They're all broke. They need money. They need new revenue streams. We sell wholesale to the advertising company. They sell
Who sells these ads right now? The bus company or
no? This is the advertiser of record.
This
is a large company here in Vancouver.
Okay.
It's a
so
US
you'd be
company.
competing against them?
No, we work for them.
Oh,
What we do.
They work for you, right? It's
we
your
work
hardware.
together. We're collaborating.
Okay.
All right. You take the advertising company. They do their thing. They go out and sell advertising.
They sell it. They're the sales team?
They sell everything. They bring it to us and say, okay, this is what we want on the screens. What time of day do you want it? Which location do you want it? Do you want it in English? Do you want it in French? Do you want it in Cantonese? Do you want it in Hindi or Punjabi?
So is the sign company doing that today?
The company that's doing, it's done in Los Angeles. They're doing strictly advertising in the Los Angeles transportation system. But I went down there, talked to people, and watched the passengers ride it. They watch it for a bit, but then they tune it out. It's the same ad.
Do you think it'll lead to more people riding the buses if they know they could get on and watch some TV from point A to B?
Sorry, I didn't catch the first part.
Do you think it would lead to more people wanting to ride the bus if they knew they were getting on and be able to watch TV while they're going?
The reason being, the two local throwaway newspapers, I've been experimenting. I'm having lots of fun with passengers because we all get on really well. If I take the local papers and put them out for them to get, as soon as they get on board the bus, they sit down happy.
I want to
If I
ride on
don't
your
bring them-
bus.
Yeah, no kidding.
Paper, TV.
Friendly guy. Yeah.
Because we've got the time to do it.
Right.
The advantage of time and age. So if I don't put the newspapers on board, they're going crazy. They're looking every which way. When they didn't charge it, it's just horrific. But if I put them on board, they've got something to do. They're entertained for that small period of time.
How many people are going to look at that or take their BlackBerry or take their, okay, your Apple? What is it?
It's called my
Macintosh
phone.
or whatever you call them.
Let's call it a smartphone, Jim.
Yeah, smartphone. All the smartphones. I haven't been on the bus for a while, but if you walk on there and you're standing there, I see people walking in the cars and posts and everything now, walking with their machine.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with this? Somebody's going. I still be looking at my BlackBerry.
Yeah, but we've already hooked you into the site because you wanted some of the specials that we're going to be able to promote on board the bus. It's
When's the
interactive.
last time you rode a bus?
About the same time the hand crank went, but that's okay.
I think it was a while back,
I think it might have been 2.
before you were born.
Yeah, that's right.
So we can interact with you. You'll sign into the website. You'll get extra bonuses. The transit system are becoming more digital, and that's what we're going to do. So what I'd like to do is get you guys to look at the plan, kick the tire, light the fire, and see if we can go somewhere with it.
I like the ability for you to connect when people have their device in their hand, that they can look at the sign, they can see the ad, and then they can interact with the sign in some way.
WestJet,
Like they
we've
can
got a
say,
special.
type a code in
That's
and
really,
somehow redeem something.
Boston
or-
Pizza's got a special. Lava Life's got a special.
Yeah.
Anybody that
and they
wants to
take
reach
that
out,
into the store with them and redeem the coupon.
Everybody's looking for an edge right now. I don't care who you are or what you are, but
you're,
you drove a bus.
yeah. I've also imported organic wine. I built $250,000 of school playgrounds at middle schools. I've got all sorts of people to buy into my ideas.
When did you have time to drive the bus?
I drove nights. Looked after my kids during the day. I was a stay-at-home dad. I drove bus at night. I get 5 hours
You're
sleep.
an
get up and do it
entrepreneur.
again.
That's what you are.
Yeah.
And,
I'm a
you're not a
serial,
bus driver. You come out here telling me you're a bus driver. You're an entrepreneur.
That keeps the mortgage people happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
I
well,
think
thank
it's
you,
great
Patrick.
thinking. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very sound.
One more to go. You guys are doing a great job of a time constraint, considering it can take an hour and a half in the den sometimes. So, okay, our last pitch comes from Bi-Coastal Partners, who are working on a truly fair way for students to help choose universities.
Hi, my name is Cassandra Linklater from Surrey, BC.
And I'm Adam Dewar from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
And together we are DL Strategic, and we aim to revolutionize student recruitment by bringing this experience online.
We're asking for $10,000 for 10% of our company or a title sponsor for our National Online Universities and Colleges Fair.
It's Hint Boston Pizza. Go ahead.
I got
It starts
This is
October
the Boston Pizza Show?
Exactly. Starts October 22nd.
Currently, there are 386 colleges, technical institutes, and universities that spend over $10 million just on university fairs. Do you really think this outdated experience energizes students to help pick a university? Students aren't enticed by, oversized convention centers, bored-looking student representatives, outdated marketing material. We're going to revolutionize this experience by bringing it online and into the lead generation space.
And unlike our competitors, we understand that choosing a university is more about an experience and choosing an experience than a program. That's why we've worked with new partners like community organizations, tourism authorities, and other key players in their communities to deliver what that experience is. And the best part is they all pay us to participate in each fair.
We clearly understand that's where the magic and the money is. So, now you probably want to know a little bit more about us. We've already engaged with 200,000 students across the country. We have a dedicated network of engaged partners and advocates that are promoting our fairs. And in our first 2 weeks of sales, we sold 4 institutes and an international government on this.
How much did they pay you?
We'll get to that question.
Okay.
Yes, and with a $10,000...
Checks in the mail?
What?
Checks in the mail?
Checks are in the mail.
Okay. They've been invoiced. But yes, with the $10,000, we're going to use that to cover the cost of the first platform. After that, it's all gravy. So the Canada Online Universities and Colleges Fair, it's taking off. So this is a great deal. Hop on board while you can because it's going to go.
Okay,
So we get 50% of the company for $10,000? Is that how it goes?
Sorry, 10%
Oh,
of the
10 for
company.
10.
Yes. So we'd love to answer some of your questions.
How big is this going to be? How big is this market?
Exactly. This is a huge market in Canada and internationally. University fairs in Canada alone are 10,000. International student...
10,000 what?
Sorry, $10 million.
10 million.
10 million they spend. Only
a year.
Canadian universities.
Okay.
But what we're trying to do is have proof of concept, prove our business idea, and then we're going to be scaling it into other industries. We want to dominate this space first because we're the only ones doing online university fairs this year.
I mean, I can go online right now and research universities at many different places where that they mix and match and do little comparisons and stuff, right? Isn't that a university fair?
That is not a university fair.
Okay.
A university fair is an experience where students get to learn about transitioning to universities. They get to hear from experts. They get to go to seminars. They get to talk to university representatives. They get to take a look at view books. All of that will be centralized in one location on our platform.
So your hope is that they will stop spending money at the university fair and instead give you money?
Well, it's, from a cost perspective, a lot more effective to them. And they reach a lot more students. Like at a recent university fair that we went to, one lady was over the moon because she had 31 leads. 31 leads in lead generation. As where we can easily do thousands.
How much did they pay you, the schools, for the
The products range between $500 and $1,500. A basic package at a university fair costs $2,000, and most universities go on kind of a tour and book at more locations. It's $10,000 all in is our competition, but that does not include the price of hotels, HR costs, as well as flights.
How come your cost per lead is so much lower if it's better?
Because this is our introductory rate. Universities are fully aware that this is going to be an introductory price and then we are going to meet market standards coming on next year. We want to get them to adopt to this new way of doing things. And then when they get to see the value for their dollar, then we've got them hooked. Huh. I'm sure you guys have a question about...
Have you had this problem yourself? Is this a problem you're solving for yourself?
Well, just to give you a quick background, we run an online publication called University Confidential. Between the two of us, we've attended the G8, G20, APEC summits, and we've gone on several trade missions. And we realized that students were having troubles in Canada with youth unemployment and youth underemployment. Students are not leveraging the university experience. So we built the online publication, have 40 writers from coast to coast, and students were demanding more. They wanted a central location to try and talk to universities in a field that they're comfortable, which is online. And that's why we built it.
What I've seen is, and maybe you've solved this a bit, but a lot of the universities now are not looking for students. What they're looking at, what they want is a student coming in there because their numbers are so high that, I hear people getting awarded that they can go to that university or that school. Mm-hmm. And, I'm looking at the ones in the States that I know of, and Pepperdine, for instance, in California. Yeah. They go out and they promote what they want for the student. They pick and choose. They could say you and you and you because that's all they want. It's just not a mass marketing for them.
Well, there's two things on that. The Canadian market and the American market are very, very different beasts. In Canada, there's a couple of universities that are fully saturated and they're looking for quality of student. We offer that in our leads as we redirect them from our platforms, students who are engaged in trying to look for making the most out of their university. But the other thing is the international market. In BC alone, the Premier is looking for 4 million students to come over the next couple of years. International student recruitment is heating up, and this is why if we do this in the online space, students can engage with universities across the country and across the world, and this is the space that we're in.
I just want to make sure that I understand the model, right?
Yes.
It's late in the day, so excuse me for that.
No problem.
So you go to a university. Mm-hmm. You put up all the marketing material for that university. Mm-hmm. Is there an interactive component to it at all?
Absolutely, that's all built in.
So you load up the material, it changes its dynamic.
And it's an experience. It's about their brand online.
So you can, and the people can come back as many times as they want, see if there's anything new.
Yes.
And you charge them $1,500 to put it up?
We charge them between $500 and $1,500 for that set fare. The fares have a time limit on them.
So you turns on and off.
It turns on and off, and then there's a subscription after that if they'd like to continue. But the thing with university recruitment is that it's targeted. So we have regional fairs, but then the business school pays, the health science departments pays, because we have degree-based.
And who pays for the marketing to get the students aware that this online fair is happening?
This is perfect question. We already have 200,000 engaged users on our website. They come.
Where did you grab those from?
From our online publication, University Confidential, and then we just recently acquired a competitor.
And are those two publications part of the deal you're offering for 10%?
They're built into the company, yes. We run them. They're a marketing tool. They don't cost us any money to run.
And they don't generate any money.
They don't generate, but they're a marketing tool.
Yeah, I understand. So you guys do all the writing yourselves for them?
No, we have 40 writers from across the country.
40?
40 writers,
okay.
Student writers.
So you must be, so are you paying these guys to do it? Or?
Absolutely not. This is crowdsourced. Students want to share their stories.
All right, all right.
And so there's also two other ways that we're getting students. We're not too big to fail. We're already in the process of talking to 3,200 high schools across the country.
Right.
And we have engaged advocates that are promoting this to their students.
And the actual curriculums and the non-qualitative writing is done by the university themselves, right? Somebody is motivated to put the information on that's accurate and...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've built the platform, and then they populate it with their marketing material, and it's simple and easy.
So there's no real cost to you guys after everything's up and going. You have to sort of edit it, and make sure that no one puts up bad words and stuff.
Exactly. We moderate it, and then we have live days, and that's all moderated, but that's built in software. And I'm sure you're probably wondering about the money. We're asking...
Yeah, we're just going to get to that.
Just curious.
The $10,000 is the cost of the initial fare and the initial cost, but that's then a platform that is replicated not only across university fairs, regional fairs, new degree fairs, but we will be moving into other industries starting in the spring.
So that'll cost more money, right?
No, the platform's already built, and then there's tweaks and changes to it.
And is there competitors now to you? I heard you breathe the competitive word there.
This is our competitor.
That's it.
A traditional university.
Nobody else is doing the online thing.
No other company is doing online university and college fairs in Canada. In the United States, there's one big one called College Week Live. But the big differentiator between us and them is that we've taken this experience and we haven't put it online, we've translated online. It's about an experience. Students get to check in, they get to share that they're with this at the event, they get to kind of show who they're talking to. There's that social and community aspect. It's not just a little avatar in a big...
How big do you think you can build this business in Canada?
Oh, this is the thing. I don't mean to be techie here, but verticals and horizontals that we're going to be using this platform for. The online...
Let's just stick with school for the time being.
Just stick with schools? Well, here's the thing. There's Canadians, universities promoting their products abroad. Mm-hmm. There's as well as international universities trying to target Canadian students.
Let me ask it a different way. Have any schools or universities turned you down when you've gone to present them? Thought it's not a good idea?
Okay, so we've already talked to 60 universities. We've had 5 that said we really want to. We did our budget in the spring, and we want to get on board for next year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's five of 60.
We have not had a no.
So what did the other 55 say?
We're in the middle of the sales cycle. And we've only started that 2 weeks ago. We have 5 organizations, including an international government, on board.
Oh, you have closed 5?
We've closed 5, yes.
Okay.
In 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
I think I'm concerned the market isn't big enough. That's my biggest issue right now. You started to convince me on the idea after not really believing, but now I'm starting to get around to it. But now I don't think you're thinking
Hence the other verticals, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. In the spring,
I think you said 10 million, and that threw me off. You shouldn't say 10 million.
I know it's not a sexy number.
10 million is hopefully the second-year revenue number, right?
But here's the thing. There's university fairs, as well as we want to go into virtual events.